fuck it. If you're mad, put your cape on and be super mad. Because we figured, hell, we're being nice about everything. We're tiptoeing about everything. We're voting. We're trying to do the electoral process, and that just doesn't work. A lot of folks were talking about the interview I did with Nick, and we were talking about Obama. And a lot of people were critical of Nick, but you shouldn't be. Nick asked some very good questions. Nick was very neutral. He asked questions that a lot of people who were in a neutral position would ask. And he brought up, we had a back and forth that was very respectable about Obama and his legacy. And I've said that his legacy is trash. Obama didn't do anything for black people. And Nick brought up the fact that, or not the fact, but the narrative that, okay, it's Obama was good for people to see, for young people to see a black man in the White House or in a position of power. And I respectfully disagree with that. And I know a lot of people have used that narrative before. The great thing about Obama to a lot of people, they say, well, it's good to have a black person in power that kids can look up to. And I disagree with that. I disagree with that to the point where it's a very negative thing for black people to see a black person in a position where they're supposed to be in a position of power, but they're not utilizing the power to help other black people. That's the worst thing a black child can see. Number one is symbolism, and it's not tangible. It's an intangible symbolism. I don't want to see, and I don't want children to see, window dressing. Black children are not dumb. We're going to have to respect the intelligence of our youth. We have to respect the intelligence of our children, of our young people, of our youth. They're not dumb by a long shot. This is why they're putting in good work out here in these streets. But when young people see a black person in power, and then you see their black peers getting slaughtered, and this so-called black person in power ain't doing nothing, this further crushes their self-esteem, because they figure, hell, no matter how high I get, I can't do anything about racism if I'm depending on the system. Why do you think all these young folks are out here in the streets right now? All these young brothers and sisters are in the streets right now because they know that the system ain't about shit. And having a black person or black faces in these positions ain't worth two dead damn flies. That's why people are taking to the streets and producing justice on their own, as they should. You understand? These elected officials ain't worth a damn, and black folks know it. They know and they understand plantation minions when they see it. These niggas are useless. So the community is like, well, we're going to take to the streets on our own. We're going to produce justice. See, it has to be about community policing at this point. I talked about that last week. Black folks, we're all are going to have to be in a position where we're going to have to start doing community policing. We are going to have to produce justice. Now, when we talk like that and we're doing it, when we talk like that and we do it, you're going to have a lot of people who want to be minions of white supremacy getting off code, and they're going to expose themselves. As we see, the white supremacists are just laying it out on the line. They're not hiding their racism anymore, which is good. They're not hiding it anymore. Every day, we keep seeing these Karen videos of these white supremacist women out here harassing black people, and white supremacist men too. There's this white woman named Christy Ann Walker. I posted, this is one of the many videos I posted. This woman is in, I think, Indiana somewhere. This woman is a nurse, or was a nurse, at the Lutheran Hospital in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, this is a white woman who worked as a nurse in a hospital. And she made a video. This is how desperate these people get. They're like, well, fuck it. Let me just say how I feel. And I like this because I need to know who's working in a hospital thinking like this woman. Listen to this woman here.
that you are deserved or entitled to something because of the color of your skin. Um, they Black people especially, do get special scholarships. They're also shielded
No, we
from a
don't.
lot of scrutiny
No, we're not.
because of the color of their skin. Nobody wants to be tagged as racist. I'm not racist. I have respect for all skin colors, Asian, Hispanic, Black, whatever. I would never treat any patient differently. I would never treat any human being differently. I think God loves everyone. I'm on the same page. However, I don't think that any race is above scrutiny, including Black people. I think that the way people are behaving and the things that are being said are unreal. I don't have words for them. Um, that being said, what
And see, this is, I want y'all to see how the white supremacists try to spit their bullshit. They try to be politically correct at first, and then when they say that being said, here they go. Here comes the hardcore racism now. They try to clean it up. They try to play good cop, bad cop with themselves. And by the way, this woman is married to a white cop. You know, she got a race soldier husband, most likely. So when they say that being said, here comes the real hardcore racism of how they feel.
um, what do you feel like you go out and do where you're like, oh, I'm Black. Oh, I'm Black. I'm feeling it today. I don't understand. Um, and yes, George Floyd actually was resisting arrest. He started to have a freak out panic attack when they went to put him in the car, probably because he was high on meth, fentanyl, and positive for COVID. You should know as a nurse that like COVID is like when you go into severe respiratory distress. He probably had like an MI when he was down on the ground. Was the police officer's foot in the wrong spot? Maybe, but
Did you hear this piece of fucking filth? This is what. Did you hear this filth? They're trying to tell us we didn't see what we saw. This is I'm white and I say so. Well, yeah, well, George Floyd, he had COVID, and as a nurse, I know how you go into respiratory attacks if you have COVID when you're down on the ground. Was the cop's foot in the wrong place? Maybe. Family, don't ever try to explain racism to people like this. They understand. This is just I'm white and I say so. This is just a filthy, funky, disturbing white supremacist.
as a nurse that like COVID is like when you go into severe respiratory distress. He probably had like an MI when he was down on the ground. Was the police officer's foot in the wrong spot? Maybe, but meth and fentanyl and positive COVID are probably more leading factors to an MI. So do your research. Anyway, that being said, there are many cases where in Central Park, Black people killed a white teen and nobody cared. Nobody did a thing. So guess what? It's all subjective to your color and your gender, whatever you want to say. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Oh, do kids get bullied at school?
Okay, that's enough. Okay. So this is a white woman who worked as a nurse and she got fired, of course. You know, they went on and fired her. These people are like, shit, fuck my job. I just have to get it off my chest. I have to get this anti-black racism off my chest. I just can't leave it pent up anymore. I can't talk in code anymore. These niggas are codified and they're on the move, and I just have to let it out. This is us forcing their hand. I love it. I love it. Let's stop being scared. See, they ain't gonna do shit they ain't already doing. They're just gonna be more honest about it. See, we're getting off this thing where we're looking for their approval. Do you want this piece of filth's approval? You don't want her. Let me tell you something. Do you know how many black folks this woman done probably killed in a hospital? How many black people have died under this woman's care? And let me tell you something, that hospital out there, and I might have to have a little conversation with them because it's not like they didn't know that this woman was a hardcore racist. If she's like this online, I can imagine some of these coworkers, they knew what this woman's get down was. And from what I'm hearing, I've been gathering some information. I heard that there have been complaints about this woman at the job. So when these institutions are employing anti-black racists like this, I want to start looking at them as a whole. and put all of them on that Summer Jam screen and do an investigation of all of them. See, we're going to have to be the community police. Family, we have to be the community police. See, we need black folks who work in some of these institutions to be the eyes and ears. Some of these black folks up at the DMV, we need you to be the eyes and ears. Some of these black folks in these hospitals who know what's up, and I know some of y'all work in these hospitals. Y'all need to let us know what's going on, anonymously or whatever. Let us know what's going on with these people. Let us know about the complaints they've been getting. We need to know this stuff. We're going to have to be the investigators and the police of America. It has to be us. What we call the police, we don't have a fucking police unit anymore. We don't have a police agency anymore. It's been corrupted and polluted by white supremacists from top to bottom. We just don't have it no more. We have to be the community police. And we got to understand this. While we're on code, we got to look at the people who are not on code. And we're getting a lot of colonized coons from other places walking among us, and they're revealing who they are too. We got a lot of these little colonized coons from Africa and the Caribbean, let's spit the real, who are coming over here, can't wait to be up under white mommy, white daddy. Let me tell y'all something. We got some of these covert colonized coons who are sitting up here among us, blending in, just biding their time to undermine us any way they can. Just look at some of the conversations on Twitter with some of these foreign coons. And this isn't indicative of everybody, because let me be clear. Some of our brothers and sisters who go to the UK, they're riders. And I've always tipped my hat to the brothers and sisters in the UK. We specifically get the coons from the Caribbean and Africa sent over here. They have a beeline over here. But shout out to the UK. Shout out to Brixton. Over there in Brixton last night, in the Brixton area, and y'all heard me talk about Brixton before. They ran the police up out of there. There was some kind of block party or something they were having up there in Brixton in the UK. The riot cops came in. Them brothers and sisters literally ran the police out of there. I heard it was like 22 officers out there were seriously injured. And when I mean ran, I mean running. The police were running like bitches. I mean, literally running from the brothers and sisters out there. They were putting in heavy work. Brixton has always put in good work. Shout out to them. Because they're on code. I'll give them their they're on code with what we got going on. But somebody in the chat room said the police might have, I heard there was 22 seriously injured police, but it could have been pre-existing conditions. Some of that could have been COVID. It could have been COVID related. So we're still gathering intel about this. You understand? We're still gathering a little intel. We're still trying to learn all the facts. We're waiting for all the facts to come in. We're waiting for all the facts to come in before we can make a real good assessment of what's going on. We're still waiting on all the facts. Because you don't know what happened, before the video. We saw video, and I put video on my Twitter and my Instagram. But you never know what happened before the video. You never know. You just never know. And speaking of that, I put up a video the other day of a black cop arresting a white dude. A white dude was trying to resist arrest, and the brother had to hem him up a little bit. And the white man up here trying to yell, he can't breathe and all this. Listen to the audio of this. And I'm going to get back on topic in a minute. I just reminded myself of this. But listen to this audio. This white man and his family yelling off the porch. And now white people want to cry foul because it was a black cop who hemmed up a white man. Now listen, hold on.
Go sit down. Go sit down.
And some of their audio is kind of low. This white man yelling.
Why are you touching him? Why are you touching him?
And the white man's family is on the porch yelling, "Why are you touching him? Call 911." They're talking about calling 911 on the black cop. Now this motherfucker yelling he can't breathe, and the cop has his arm, so he has him by the arm, and the white man yelling he can't breathe.
I'm calling 911. Billy, call 911.
Oh, white folks are so fucking good. The black man is just trying to. He ain't beating his ass. He's just trying to handcuff this fat mayonnaise fucker in the back. I was Billy, help! All this dramatic ass bullshit. And they're screaming just because white folks don't scream like this when white cops are doing. Just the fact that a black man in authority is hemming up their dad. Oh, this is just horrible. Just the fact that a black man is arresting their goofy fucking dad is just the worst thing ever. Billy, help Jesus! Okay, so the white supremacists are very mad. They're very mad. It's not police brutality. He just threw him to the ground and tried to handcuff this fucker. So they're trying to claim police brutality. No, it's not police brutality. Back the blue. Now that's one cop that we shall not defund. We're not going to defund him. Now, if you think that this cop did some abuse, if the black cop did abuse, so what we're going to do, we're going to have some reform for him. I suggest that we send that black cop to a Justin Timberlake concert to show him some sensitivity about white society. That's how we're going to have reform. I suggest that we have him go out to a mayonnaise factory and really learn the culture of great mayonnaise making. You know, that's going to help him, understand their culture a little bit more. Have him go to a meth lab and just kind of walk around and observe, do a little sensitivity training at a meth lab so he can really understand that culture. Have him go to Dollyland down there, the Dolly Parton's theme park. That's how he can learn. Yeah, have him go to Dollyland and ride the titty coaster, whatever the fuck they got at Dollyland. Old big titty white woman. What the fuck do they have at Dollyland? Have them go to Dollyland. Teaching some sensitivity training down there at fucking Dollyland. Because ain't that the stupid shit y'all tell us? When a cop blow our brains out, y'all want to take him to the African American History Museum? Take that motherfucker to Graceland then. Take him over to the Elvis house. All right? Since we're going to play that game, let's do some of the same goofy shit y'all do. All right. But anyway, like I was saying earlier, I was talking about how, we got some non-FBA people among us who are getting off code. When you look on Twitter, you see a lot of these non-FBA people complaining about foundational Black Americans. Because we're focused on our agenda. Reparations is on the table. Fuck everything else. We're not campaigning for anything else except reparations. That's all we're about right now. We're not going to move on the political landscape if it's not about reparations, because nothing else is going to work for us. Everything else on the table works against us. So a lot of these Negroes who use us as their donkeys to carry them, now they're being honest now. Now you see a lot of the Latinos are being honest now. You saw all those Dominicans and all those other people being very honest about how they felt about us, which is good. That's fine. I like that. Let's get all the facades out the way. Let's get all the fantasies out the way. Let's stop playing games and let's everybody be honest. We're talking about tangibles for us and nobody else right now. We've done enough for everybody else over here. It's our tangibles time. So now a lot of these foreign Negroes are like, well, shit, them damn Akatas, they hate us. Those niggas hate us. Those goddamn Akatas, they hate us. And I've seen niggas over there who are not even over here. I've seen people over there in certain parts of Africa talking about those niggas hate us. So they say that we live in mud huts. They have stereotypes about us. And let me tell you something. If some of y'all are over in Africa somewhere listening, let me tell y'all something. We don't sit up talking about you like that. I don't know where y'all get this narrative that we're sitting around shitting on you or even talking about you in any sense. I promise you that we're not. We're not really talking about you like that. We have our own issues over here. We're not talking, if we do talk about you, it ain't negative. We always talk about you as being our long lost brethren. We always talk about, well, maybe one day we can go visit over there. We don't talk about you negatively. That's projection, what you're doing. When I see niggas over here talking about this stupid, those niggas, those American niggas, they hate us. They say we live in the mud huts. They say we run around naked with animals. No, we don't. I don't know where y'all getting those fucking lies from. We don't. We don't sit around saying no stupid ass shit like that because we have bigger fish to fry. We ain't saying nothing like that about anybody. We're just not. White people say that stupid shit. The people that y'all niggas be praising when they go over there, white mommy and white daddy who you buck dance for, they say that stupid shit. We don't. We're not even thinking about you like that. And that's no disrespect. We just have bigger fish to fry. We have our own issues over here. You're the last people we're thinking about. No disrespect. We're just not thinking about you. We got other issues. We really don't care. What you doing over there? And why would we? It's not even practical for us to sit around hating on you over there. What we getting out of hating on you? Some of you have delusions of grandeur. If you think we're sitting up hating on you, there's just no practical reason for us to do that. Hating on you is not going to benefit us in any way, shape, or form. So that's a lot of projection because y'all sitting up, some of y'all coons sitting up hating on us, those niggas, those goddamn niggas over there. You know, that's your projection. That is your projection. And then when these Negroes, those same hate Negroes get over here, oh, they really ramp it up. They can't wait to undermine us, blend in so they can undermine. Now, shout out to somebody just gave you, somebody that gave $25,000 in some kind of money in the chat room. Hold on, shout out. Oh, my dude is in Uganda right now. He said there's a lot of buffoonery over there. Yeah, he gave 25,000 in Ugandan money. Can y'all tally that up? Because I shout out to some of the brothers and sisters in Africa who's not coons. They put some donations to the YouTube live, and it'd be a lot of money. It'd be like $20 million in Cameroonian money. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, I'm about to go to Vegas. And then I found out how much that shit is, and it's like $8. Oh, goddamn, Umduge. Shit. I thought Umduge cashed me out. Like, God, it's $8. So that's $6 in United States money. Okay, shout out to my Ugandan brother who gave 25. It's something. Yeah, they tallied it up. He actually gave $6,000. Nigga, you could have used that to buy some Jollof or something. You could have kept that, brother, but it's okay. All right, you could have got some Jollof, some pap, and some Swahili chicken wings for that money, brother. Shit, you could have kept that. Yeah, better get you some little Swahili chicken wings and some Jollof with that little money. I don't need that, brother. All right. But I digress. He's American. Shout out to that brother. Um, but like I said, a lot of cats they come over here, and then the cooning really pops off. The cooning really pops off. And in Chicago, there was some protests, and people were protesting the Chase Bank headquarters out there. For that particular day, they were like, okay, let's make a statement. This day, we're not going to patronize Chase Bank. We're going to protest Chase Bank today when we're going to stop people from going in. And, they were pretty successful at stopping people from going in. They were making a statement because of Chase Bank's role in the slave trade. Remember, Chase Bank and a lot of these banks, they got started because of the slave trade, because of us, because of the money generated from Foundation of Black America. And it was one woman who they were trying to stop going in the bank, and she started arguing with the brothers. And she was off code. And they continued to talk to her, found out why she was off code. She started talking about how she's a Nigerian. She was never a slave. Now, I want y'all to listen to this. Now, if you want to see off code behavior, because I talked about this before, and I think I talked about this on the canon class, during the civil rights movement, the bus boycott in Selma and Montgomery, the reason why it was so successful is because Foundation of Black Americans, we were here on our own, and it was easy for us to get on code because we all understood we were under the same umbrella of struggle. We understood we were under the same umbrella of struggle. Hold on, God damn it! I got to get this phone line off this goddamn computer. Yeah, we understood that we were under the same struggle, and there were no immigrants in our communities at that time. So there were no people to really get off code like that. Afterwards, we started getting flooded with a lot of immigrants who were completely off code and who would do things to undermine us. And this is why for a long time we have not been able to get on code to target these corporations and thwart them from undermining us. You remember a few months ago when they were having the boycott and the shutdown of those Asian shops, one of those Asian shops out there in New York. Remember that shop? Those Asians beat up some sisters. The shop ended up getting shut down by the community. But I want y'all to remember, even when they were protesting and boycotting that shop and telling people not to go, it was a bunch of them Caribbean mammies going up there hugging them fucking Asians. I want y'all to remember that. When that stuff was going on, we were pointing that out. It was a bunch of them damn Jamaican mammies going in there hugging up on them damn Asians. They didn't give a damn. It was them breaking the boycott. It was them getting off code. I want y'all to remember that. But they ultimately shut that shop down. But listen to this woman here. This is a woman there, Chase Bank in Chicago, and his brother's trying to break things down to her. If we are in the middle of the street protesting, you can't run through protest. All I'm saying to you is that I just don't want to talk to you. What happening is we are here fighting because they have taken our money and not invested for 1% in it in the last decade into black people. So when you have a picket line like this, I know it all the disobedience is going to cause a stir. It's just like Harriet Tubman trying to free slaves. They were fighting her. What I'm saying is, okay, now some of the audio is a little janky. He said it's like Harriet Tubman. He brought up Harriet Tubman to this woman, and when he brought that up, she just flipped, and she looked like she works for this like a school guard or something. She has like a school guard vest or something. But check it. I am not don't blame me. Don't tell me my history. I know my history. What you're doing is wrong. And I want y'all to hear something. She had an accent, and then the accent went away. She had I am an African, and then she slipped back into her American accent. That was very interesting too. Okay. I am an African. So she knows to go in and out of her little accent. Don't play with me. She's going in and out of her accent. I am an African. Don't play with me. Don't tell me my history. I know my history. What you're doing is wrong. It's all the disruption. I never been a slave. My people weren't a slave. I'm from Nigeria. I speak Russian. Okay, did y'all catch that? She was like, I'm not a slave. I'm not Jurgen. I ain't never been a slave. I ain't been no slave. I speak Russian. The fuck does that have to do with anything? And I'm gonna break that down in a second. Okay, so as you see, that tribal bullshit, she's up here arguing with the brother. She is an African and she speaks Russian. Now, why did she say that? She said, I speak Russian because that's her way to say I have more of a camaraderie with white European society. That's why she said that. I have more of a camaraderie with white European society than you niggas. That's what that was about. And we're trying to get everybody on code, and this non-FBA comes in with this off-code tribal bullshit. And when we point this out, see, don't ever think that this is a problem to point out. Because, see, these people, when the rubber meets the road, when they see they can't get any benefits off us caping for them, oh, the real them comes out. See, when they can get something out of niggas, out of us, we're all in this together. We're brothers. It's we all in this together, we brothers. Now that we're on code and we're talking about reparations and Chase Bank. Now, this woman knows if anything comes from Chase Bank, she's not going to get it. If Chase Bank were to break down some reparations, this is why the brother was talking about slavery, she's not going to get anything from it. So that's why she got all defensive. I am not a slave. I'm not. Let's stop the bullshit. Because I see a lot of West Africans try to pull the, I am not a slave. You are a slave. I got a slave. And let me tell you something. Colonization is slavery. Y'all can sit up here and play this little mind fuck game you want to play all day. Colonization is slavery in every sense of the word. The biggest plantation in the world right now is Africa. Oh, that's going to rub a lot of folks the wrong way, but let's just keep it a buck. The biggest plantation in the world right now is all of Africa. Africa is a huge slave plantation with different masters, and the black people there are subjugated under them. Y'all can play this game with yourself if you like. See, that's the difference between a lot of people in the diaspora and foundational Black America. See, we knew we were slaves because we dealt with the worst of the white supremacists. Y'all dealt with more deceptive and polite white supremacists who kind of finessed y'all a little bit. Well, we're family, guys. We're going to marry into some of the African royalty. That's what they did over there. The Portuguese did a lot of that, some of the British, but they were good at marrying into some of these African tribal families to run their game and run their finesse. So that mind fucked a lot of y'all out there in Africa. I'm talking directly to my African brothers and sisters. Them white supremacists coming in, marrying into those tribal families, and then finessing all the resources from these families and these nations. It has y'all confused to this day. This is why y'all niggas think, a lot of you still think that you're part of the British family. You think you're part of the British crown. You think I speak Russian. That don't mean nothing. This woman think that she has some kind of camaraderie with Europe. See, they finessed you a little better out there to enslave and colonize you. See, they colonize you by saying, okay, you're part of the family, but right now you're gonna be a little subjugated, but you're still, we'll treat you like you're part of the family. And Europe still controls, directly and indirectly, all of Africa. They control all of it. See, with us over here, they didn't marry into black families like that. That's the last thing they did. So they didn't create no illusion. They were very hardcore with the anti-black racism, and they let us know, even now, they're very hostile to us, and they let us know every day, you are an other. You are niggas, and you're going to be subjugated under us. So this is why we fight harder, because we're not under any illusion. This is why we're the only people who consistently turns up on these white supremacists, because we're not under any illusions. All in certain parts of Africa, they're under illusions, especially in some of these Caribbean places, especially the Spanish-speaking places. Those niggas are just gone. The Spanish were real good at marrying in and claiming the half black kids and all this. So they were very good at doing that and letting you think, well, you're part of the family, causing a lot of confusion. That's why jet black niggas from Cuba and the Dominican Republic and all these places, I Spanish. You understand? But the thing is, you are completely colonized. They give you the illusion of independence. You're independent on paper, but they still control the economics. They really control the military, if you want to be real about it. They put a lot of sanctions on some of the military out there. And if you try to go real independent like they did in Zimbabwe, and I've been to Zimbabwe and I love the people of Zimbabwe, but they have all types of crazy sanctions on Zimbabwe. Planes can't fly out of Zimbabwe to certain places. The dollar can't be spent. You can't spend money online using American dollars. It's a whole bunch of stuff over there. The sanctions are insane. It's colonized like a big plantation. And now the Asians are colonizing. They're being allowed to colonize by the white supremacists. Asians are going over there running amok, doing what they want to do. Colonization is slavery, and it turns you into a colonized coon if you do not realize this. You can't sit up and point your finger talking about you niggas are slaves. And you out here selling pussy in Nairobi to get milk money. That's slavery. Colonization is just a cuter word. It just makes you feel like there's some type of military difference. Hey, we are colonized, but we have to make a better deal. The government is corrupt. We just have corrupt the government. Then you blame it on the government and all this old stuff. So you think you have a militaristic political difference with Europe. No, it's racial. No, you're subjected to them. They play these little word games with you. You're subjected to them. And some of them Arabs, they're going over there enslaving people now. They're taking you up to Libya in chains. They go up to East Africa, start picking people up out of there, taking them all up there to Libya. Them wannabe white Arabs are whooping ass and slaving over there, and they're using the word slavery. So y'all got to stop playing that game and get the fuck on code if you're going to get on code. Because what we're not going to do, we're not going to let you come over here with the bullshit. This is why it was a great thing that Foundation of Black Americans started to recognize our nationality and our difference. And we are a different group. Us acknowledging that helped alleviate a lot of these other people who try to come in the mix, throwing salt in the game. Because family, they always, and I talked about this before, they go out of their way to put some of these foreign coons and these colonized coons in political positions over here to make decisions that undermine us. Now that we're calling that out, we're seeing now that the process is illegitimate. We're seeing now that the electoral process and the political process, it's something that is just corrupt from the bottom to the top, and this is why we're backing out of it. This is why they're having such a difficult time trying to get us on that vote train. We're just not buying it no more. And let me tell you something, family, have you noticed all the things that we've gotten done just within the last few weeks, just hitting the streets? We're getting stuff done just hitting the damn streets without voting, without worrying about a politician, without none of that stuff. Just hitting the streets during our own community policing. We're getting a lot of stuff done. And we're taking it to different levels. Us hitting the streets, they're starting to charge more of these race soldiers. Another race soldier in New York who choked out a kid, he just got charged. He was charged before a few years ago. He got charged for pistol whipping a black kid, and he got acquitted. And they put that wannabe white judge, Danny Chun, on the case to let him go. So now this guy's been charged again for using that chokehold. As we know, the race soldier who shot the brother down there in Atlanta at Wendy's, he got charged with some serious felony. Shout out to the DA, Paul Howard. Everybody support Paul Howard's campaign and re-elect that brother. If we're going to elect somebody, if we're going to get into the voting process, those are the people we rock with. If I was down there, I'd just go vote for him and leave. I would go to the ballot box, vote for that brother alone, and then bounce. But down there in Atlanta a couple of days ago, I've seen a few videos where people are still going to the site where that Wendy's burned down and the brother got shot in the back, and people still protest there. And there's incidents down there where the white cops are being ran out of that area. There were some brothers out there with guns the other day saying that white cops are just simply not allowed over there. There were armed brothers walking around saying that white cops in Atlanta over in that area are just not allowed. See, this is scaring the white supremacists because, see, now we're doing real community policing. Family, did y'all see what went down in Milwaukee this week? I'm very proud of the black people in Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, there were a couple of black girls missing. They were like 13 and 14. I think those were the ages of the girls. I think they might have been older. I'm thinking 13, 14, something like that. They were underage girls. They were missing. The people told the police. The police basically said, well, this is, they're not essential. We can't really do anything about it. The police told the community they couldn't do anything about it. So they weren't going to do anything. The community of Milwaukee hit the streets on their own, started getting tips, started knocking on doors, turning over rocks, hitting the streets, and they actually found the girls and saved the girls. They found these girls and saved the black community of Milwaukee. And also what they did in the process of looking for the girls, they uncovered some other pedophile houses out there that the police knew about, but they weren't doing anything about. They heard the girls were at one pedophile house. They happened to be at another one. But there's one pedophile house. They went inside and they knocked on the door first. Somebody shot at them or something. And then the police came, but the police didn't really arrest anybody there. The black folks went in the house. The community came out by the dozens. There was a whole bunch of people in the community came out. They raided the house, started bringing out evidence, bloody kids' clothes, all types of evidence of pedophilia there because they've been hearing about this place. And the brothers and sisters burned that damn house down. They burned the house down. The community of Milwaukee. Because they knew the police weren't going to do anything about it. Because let me tell you something. I want y'all to research this. That house had 27 police calls to it in the last 4 years. The police knew about this place. They knew about the pedophile ring. That's why they weren't going to do anything about it. Let me tell you, Milwaukee has that bad, by the way. Over there in the Midwest, that's the thing with these little pedophile rings, especially in Milwaukee. Remember, Jeffrey Dahmer was out there in Milwaukee, and the police knew about Jeffrey Dahmer, and they weren't going to do anything about Jeffrey Dahmer. Remember, and I've talked about the Jeffrey Dahmer case before. They knew that Jeffrey Dahmer was out here targeting black people. There were black people warning the police. One of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims, who was this very dark-skinned Laotian boy, who actually escaped from Jeffrey Dahmer's house. The boy was drugged, naked. Jeffrey Dahmer was about to kill him. He ran out the house. Some black girls in the neighborhood were trying to help the boy, and they were fighting off Jeffrey Dahmer. The police came and sided with Jeffrey Dahmer. The girls were like, hey, this little boy is in danger. You got to save him. Jeffrey Dahmer was like, well, that's my lover. Bring him back to the crib. The police took the boy from the black girls and took the boy back to Jeffrey Dahmer's house. And the next day, Jeffrey Dahmer killed him. And ate him. Killed him and ate him. Sad story. All they had to do was run Jeffrey Dahmer's license and see that he was a registered sex offender. The cop who went in there smelled the dead bodies. There were other dead bodies in the house. This is why I tell people, don't let them make you think that Jeffrey Dahmer was some kind of criminal mastermind. He wasn't. Just a white dude who got away with shit. He had dead bodies all up in his house. The cops just never bothered to look, or they just turned a blind eye. I don't believe that they were incompetent. They knew. They knew it. And they allowed it to go on. And guess who brought justice to Jeffrey Dahmer? Because remember, they were still very casual with Jeffrey Dahmer when he was going to court. He would walk into court with no handcuffs on, just very casual. They were still treating him with kid gloves. Speaking of that, up in Oregon, I posted this on my Twitter. There was a white supremacist who killed a couple of people. He tried to kill this black woman up there, and he's on trial now. And they're letting him walk up in court with no handcuffs or anything. And he threatened his sister. The sister's on trial, testifying against him. And he jumped up in court, no handcuffs on, talking like, yeah, I should have killed you, bitch. And then they fake detained him. This just happened this week up there in Oregon. They let these white supremacists walk all in court with no handcuffs. But a black person, you jaywalk, they got you in handcuffs, shackles, foot shackles. They got you in there like Hannibal damn Lecter for shoplifting, but they let these white killers walk off in there casual as hell. They were doing that with Jeffrey Dahmer. That's why you can't find any pictures of Jeffrey Dahmer in handcuffs. But let me tell you something. It was brothers who brought the justice on Jeffrey Dahmer's ass. Because when he went to prison, brothers murked his ass. The black man killed his ass with a mop handle in prison. Ogoon, Ogoon, Ogoon. See, black folks, foundational black Americans, see, we got a thing about pedophilia. We don't fuck with pedophiles. With us, we're the only group where it's on site with pedophiles. We do not have an open pedophile culture in foundational black American society. That's something we can boast about. This is why the white supremacists are always trying to break us on that. They're always trying to slip in pedophilia to normalize it with foundational black Americans, and we keep rejecting it, and they try to make it seem like, well, we're being homophobic for rejecting the pedophilia propaganda they try to bring along to us. You dig? And this is why they're always trying to undermine us using the LGBT talk, because as you see, we're out here talking about getting our tangibles. We're out here trying to get reparations, and they keep acting like they don't have it. If they include us, they got to include all these other groups. But when they talk about giving tangibles to these other groups, they don't include us. When they talk about giving tangibles to Hispanics, they don't include us. When they talk about giving tangibles to Asians, they don't include us. Family, I want y'all to look up this new bill that they're passing out here in California. It passed assembly. It's they're pushing this thing through. It's called the AB 2218 bill. It's called the Transgender Wellness and Equity Fund out here in California. You got thousands of homeless black people out here. Black people are getting targeted by race soldiers. They're talking about how black people are disproportionately getting COVID. Black people need specific tangibles, and they're giving us, well, we'll take down a Confederate sign for you. They're giving us all of these symbolic gestures. But with this fund, this Transgender Wellness Equity Fund, they're trying to, and they're going to, allocate $15 million for transgenders, for transgender service like sex change operations, hormones, therapy, treatment. They're giving our tax dollars to transgender. Yes, I want you people like, what? Google AB 2218, the California Assembly Bill. This is why when they got the Civil Rights Bill to include transgenders, y'all better understand, I knew the money was coming. You better believe that the money was coming right after that. All they had to do was just get federally recognized as a civil rights group. And now immediately, I'm talking about a damn week later, they're talking about allocating money. They're talking about funds, not no study. It's the Transgender Wellness Equity Fund, not no goddamn study of anything. They're about to just prioritize them over us and start throwing money immediately. Don't ever let these people run game on us with this we all in this together coalition ally bullshit, family. This is why we don't do that ally bullshit. It's white men of course it's white men getting this money. It's white men getting this money. So now, family, all a white man has to do now is put on a wig and go get a grant and get a damn check at this point. A random white man literally can just go put on a wig and say, hey, civil rights time, I spilled pussy juice in Frisco. And now he's eligible to get a damn civil rights check and some damn allocated funds from the federal government. Thank you, Obama. So that's Obama helping to put all that stuff together, by the way. And I'm supposed to feel good about looking at Obama and his wife while all these other groups are getting all these funds and all this damn money for nothing. And we built this country and all we get to do is look at optics. Nah. We got to be hard in the paint for this damn reparation game, y'all. Family, you got race soldiers out here, out there in Wilmington. They just fired a couple of race soldiers who they caught on film talking about, we want to slaughter. We just can't wait till we get to slaughter black people wholesale. They ended up firing these dudes because they just, for some reason, happened to get caught on tape talking about slaughtering black people wholesale. And what happened to them is they got fired. They should have been arrested and charged. But what should happen, this was in Wilmington, black folks are going to have to do the community policing. Black people are going to have to do the community policing. You're going to have to get to the point where we step to these folks and produce justice. Because, see, this is why a lot of people felt a certain way about those brothers in Milwaukee burning down that pedophile house, see. You can't really speak against it because we're talking about pedophiles. But some white supremacists, they got a real problem with it because, see, they understand where this thing can go. if black folks are out here taking justice in their own hands, eventually black folks will start showing up to the homes of these race soldiers. See, this is what they're thinking. See, this is why they keep saying little stuff like that. Rudy Giuliani was saying some stuff. Black Lives Matter, they're going to show up to your house. They keep saying this thing about black folks showing up to your house. Black Lives Matter is going to show up to your house. Notice that little thing. Tucker Carlson said something to that effect. They're going to come to your homes. You see? See, that's what they fear. They fear that black folks, it's going to get to a point where, you know what? If we can go to the pedophile's house, we can go to these race soldiers' houses too and produce justice. See, this is what they fear. Yeah, all that stuff about, they're going to come and take your home. No. They mean that we're going to go to these people's homes and produce justice. Somebody said Black Lives Matter is majority Caucasian. Y'all better understand code words. They understand. They can't say black people. They're going to say, well, Black Lives Matter. That's a code word for black people. When they say, oh, I hate Black Lives Matter, that means they hate black people. You can't hate a movement. Who are you talking about? That's a code word for black people. See, they're afraid this is where it's going. Black folks, they're like, these niggas are going to eventually wise up and stop running in front of all these damn tanks and all of our military weaponry. And they're going to take it directly to the damn white supremacists at their homes. This is what they're fearing. And going back to Milwaukee, the white supremacists tried the little trick of sending a Negro preacher out there to the black youth when they were burning down the house in Milwaukee. They sent a Negro preacher out there to calm everybody down. And the brothers and sisters in the streets ran this preacher up out of there. I want y'all to listen to the audio of this. This is this Negro preacher they brought out here, because the white supremacists, they're doing the same old tactics and moves. They don't have any more new moves. They don't have anything else. So they keep doing the same thing over and over, and it's not working. But listen to this.
We know what y'all be doing. Get the fuck out of here. No, you a bitch too. Damn, she pull this shit out. Pull this shit out, dog. Look, you gonna set them on his neck, dog.
And shout out to Frank Mitty. That's the brother Frank Mitty who's filming, and he's boots on the ground out there in Milwaukee. That brother Frank Mitty's been doing a lot of good work. I put some on that brother's cash out the other day, by the way. But he's doing a lot of good work reporting on what's going on out there.
No, don't say that shit. That shit's sick. That's why I moved. I didn't know who he was getting hard off of. I had to second guess that shit. Like, wait a minute. It could be. You know what? Let me move the fuck around. No, get his fake ass from over here, too. Damn.
You're talking about the preacher.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. It's the pastor right here. My nigga, he be serving warrants and shit and restraining orders. So he still operate with the law. They got him out here trying to calm, sit down. Wait till you don't take your nasty ass on. You mad because we found your house. Get your ass up and over here. Y'all wanna get this old nigga. Y'all wanna get him. Get this nigga. Y'all wanna get this nigga up and over here.
All right, well, y'all get the idea. They're like, get this old nigga out of here. And they ran him out of there. Hold on. Let me fast forward. They were applauding when they got him out of there. Hold on. They were applauding.
Please, you're not one of us. He like what he see. Come get your old nigga. Yeah. Get that old nigga up and over here. Yeah. Go play with your people. Yeah.
So they ran him off the block and everybody started
Don't pray
applauding.
for their ass.
This is where the game is serious. The young folks ain't on the bullshit right now. Our young warriors are out here focused and codified. So they can't bring one of these old Negro preachers out here who's clearly clicked in with the white establishment to prey on it. No. That ain't working no more. That ain't working no more. The reason why we're in this situation is because of these old praying niggas out here acquiescing to the desires and the domination of the white supremacists. That's why we're where we are now. That day is over. We're not going to go along with the bullshit. We're not going along with the bullshit at all. And the thing is, a lot of these corporations, notice they're trying to speak up for Black Lives now. A lot of these corporations are trying to mention Black Lives Matter and all this old stuff. And the reason why is because we're so codified, Black people are now actively taking our business to other Black people, which is another thing they fear. So now we're actively looking out for Black people to do business with. And we're taking our business away from some of these white corporations. They're like, wait, hey guys, Black lives do matter. Because we shut down a lot of these Asian businesses. These Asian businesses, they're crying for help right now. A lot of them are crying right now. We didn't shut down some of these Asian nail shops. We didn't wipe them out. A lot of them. And some of these white corporations, because of the COVID thing and because of us getting on code, they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to unlock all of the Afro Sheen. We had the Afro Sheen locked up from you niggas. We'll unlock it now. All the edge control gel, we're going to unlock it because Black lives definitely matters. Come on, guys. Yeah, now that we're patronizing our own businesses now, we're actively looking out for other Black folks to do business with. They're like, oh, hey, guys. Whoa. Because let me tell you something. With these major corporations, these fast food places and all that, we fuel these folks. Just like the Asian businesses, we fuel a lot of their economy. That's why there's McDonald's and Burger King and all them shits and churches, all of them in the hood. You understand? We need to continue to support our Black businesses. We need to continue to do that. You in? And speaking of sponsors, y'all saw the whole thing with NASCAR. NASCAR, they're trying to change things up a little bit. They got a Black race car driver, Bubba. What's Bubba's last name? Bubba Wallace or something like that? Now, a few weeks ago, one of these white NASCAR drivers just randomly yelled out nigger. He didn't know he was on film. He just yelled out nigger randomly, and then there was a backlash. Some of his sponsors dropped, as they should. And this Bubba dude, the only Black race car driver, the NASCAR driver right now, from what I understand, he put the cape on. They wheeled him out to put the cape on for the white man. And now they done turned on this Bubba dude because somebody had a noose in his garage. And he publicly spoke against a noose being in his garage. And then the FBI came and investigated and said, oh, no, it wasn't a noose. It was left there last year, blah, blah, blah. And then NASCAR put out a picture of it. And it's clearly a goddamn noose. It's clearly a noose. They put up a noose, and now all the white people are mad at this Negro now. See, y'all can't be putting on the cape for the white supremacists. See, that's what you get putting on the cape for the white supremacists. You empowered them to come after your Black ass. And you thought you were biracial, that don't mean nothing. You dig? Yeah, his dad is white. His mom is Black, his dad is white. But he's getting treated like a nigga. There's another brother, I think he's biracial, brother named William Marcus Wilson out there in Georgia. He had a white girlfriend. This happened a couple of weeks ago. He was out there in Georgia. Him and his white girlfriend, Emma, and some other white youths started harassing him and his girlfriend, calling her a nigger lover and all this. So he got in his car with his girl and they left, and those other white teens started following them. And I think they tried to run him off the road. So this brother pulled his gun out and tried to shoot a warning shot to get him off of them, and killed the white girl that was in the other car. They just charged this brother with murder. They should not have charged him with murder because he was standing his ground. And we're trying to look into this case now. I think he has no bail, but we have to look into this case because it's setting a precedent where Black people cannot defend themselves against white supremacy, especially in a stand your ground state like Georgia. They pride themselves on being stand your ground. Remember, they didn't want to charge Ahmaud Arbery's killers on that stand your ground bullshit. When they chased him, and they didn't want to charge the killers. They had to charge him now because of all the noise everybody made about it. So yeah, we need to look into this case. I want my Georgia attorneys to holler at me because this is not about him. This is about the precedent. This is about the precedent that's being set. I want my Georgia attorneys to holler at me. Also, my guys who do websites. I've been trying to find the Black Line web design folks. I cannot get in touch with them. I don't know if they're still doing their thing. All my black folks, if you do websites, hit me up, info@tariqelite.com. There's something I want y'all to help me put together. Info@tariqelite.com. My brothers and sisters who do websites. Also, my lawyers out there in Georgia. Let me talk to you to find out some of these statutes and things out here. Holler at me if you are out there in Georgia so we can look into this thing. This is why we got to be on code heavy. Speaking, somebody mentioned the 4th of July. I've been getting intel that these white supremacists are going to try to pull a move on 4th of July. Family, get ready for 4th of July. These white supremacists are going to definitely try a move. They're working with the race soldiers, the law enforcement. Watch out for 4th of July. I'm telling black folks to be on full alert. Don't be out here dancing and all that shit on 4th of July out here in the streets, especially Chicago. Chicago, they're going to try to do one of these 200 people got shot on July 4th weekend. It's going to be a bunch of white supremacists out there picking people off in Chicago. I'm telling y'all that right now. Chicago, y'all need to start setting up roadblocks and perimeters in certain places and have people patrol the neighborhood looking for white supremacists. We need community policing. I'm talking to my Chicago riders. As a matter of fact, me and JoJo Capone, we're going to be chopping it up probably tomorrow on Zoom. JoJo Capone out there in Chicago. I'm going to talk to him about this too. I want my folks in Chicago to be on them streets patrolling, looking out for white supremacists, setting up zones, roadblocks, and all of this stuff so that y'all can catch these white supremacists coming up on the block so you can head them off. I really want my brothers and sisters to be on code in Chicago with community policing. That police force up there is corrupt to the core. They are allowing white supremacists to come in and just shoot willy-nilly. I know I need the community to be on alert and able to protect their communities out there and patrol those communities in Chicago, especially on July 4th weekend, and really in Atlanta and all other places too. We need to be policing these communities. We need, folks on rooftops, policing the community, doing constitutional policing. We need everybody with their cameras ready, just like they're doing in Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota. The brothers are out there with walkie-talkies. They're looking out for the community out there. We got to be doing that. We got to do that. But like I said, man, this thing is getting heavy out here. We're on code. We got to stay on code. This game is getting real, real heavy. And we can't celebrate too soon. See, black folks, we get into the thing of we get a couple of minor victories and we want to celebrate forever. No. We can't celebrate right now. This is just the beginning. We're going to have to look at this thing from the long haul. We're going to have to look further down the road and understand we got to keep doing what we're doing for the long haul. We got a lot of work ahead of us, and that's a good thing. See, the white supremacists are just waiting on us to go back to partying and relaxing. No, we can put the party off for a long time. It's work time. It's build time. It's time to police these communities on our own. And if we talk to any politician, if it ain't about punishing race soldiers and giving us tangibles in the form of reparations, there is nothing else to talk about at all. We're not talking about immigration. We're not talking about swirling. We're not talking about symbolic gestures. We're not talking about a Negro in certain positions that's powerless. If it ain't about tangibles, we're just not talking about it. And it's going to take work, and work is good when we're working for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with putting in work for ourselves. And we got to watch out for the people that they bring around us who are funny style. You know, I've been telling people about them trying to push these COVID vaccines on Black society. As you know, they're trying desperately to throw these COVID vaccines on us. The Bill and Melinda Gates folks are talking about we want to test these vaccines out on Black people first. They're talking about putting these vaccines on us first. And they tried using that Kizzmekia woman, and I talked about that the other day. This Kizzmekia woman, who we got her out the paint. We found all of her old tweets about how much this woman can't stand Black society, so we found her ass out. And, you know, they went back to the drawing board. They've gone back to the drawing board. They got another mammy that they put out here. They got this woman, and what's this woman's name? Help me in the chat room. What's that woman's name again? This other new mammy that they got, they're trying to push off on us. What's this woman's name? This new mammy. Hold on, I want to get this woman's name right. I talked about her the other day. What's her name? Colympia, right? This Colympia woman, Calypia, something like that. What's her correct name? They got a new man, Calypia Hodges. So they pulled this woman out of nowhere, saying that this woman has a clinic and we're going to help lead the cause of vaccine testing with her. We're going to convince Black people to do the vaccine testing. And I said, hey, this woman, her information has been scrubbed from the damn internet. There's no information about this Calypia woman. There's no information about this woman. And I spoke on that the other day. Now, who is this woman? She has some kind of business called Infinite Clinical Trials down there in Georgia. So don't nobody know anything about this woman, Calypia Hodges. Now, I said this the other day on my broadcast. Do you know her publicist jumped in my mentions? Her publicist, Anicia something, and she just blocked me, by the way. Her publicist, yeah, Anicia Williams, that's her publicist. She hopped on my mentions talking trash. Yeah, Calypia is my client, and you're slandering her. You must not like the Black women. I was like, woman, stop. I'm like, first of all, why does this woman have a damn publicist? If she's supposed to be some kind of scientist or whatever, how come we don't know nothing about this woman and all of a sudden she has a little janky PR firm trying to represent her? Some little low-budget PR firm. I'm like, really? You gonna try to come at me with this janky bullshit? Talking about we're slandering her? I'm like, we're not slandering her. How come there's no information about this woman? And the so-called publicist kept trying to change the subject. I said, oh, since you represent her, well, I got some questions. You keep deflecting when people are asking about this woman. And the publicist is talking all this sassy shit. Look, you can't, I got time today. I will gather you. I'm like, she's talking this type of goofy hood rat shit. I'm like, okay, while you're trying to gather me, whatever that means, let's answer some questions about your client. How come there is no information about this woman prior to February of this year? There's literally nothing about this woman. Nowhere to be found. How did she start her business called Infinite Clinical Trials LLC? Some 8,000 square foot facility out there in Georgia. How did this woman get this facility and nobody knows about her? Yeah, she's using all those LGBT terms. I'm a gather you. No, stop it, woman. And the only article that I've seen on this Calipia Hodges woman, somebody did a Medium article. Anybody can post up a Medium article. And she said something very interesting. She was talking about her business, the Infinite Clinical Trials LLC. And she said, well, in 2017, with no business loan, the Lord blessed me with my business, Infinite Clinical Trials. I don't know why I can't say infinite tonight. She said the Lord blessed her with her business. When niggas start talking some shit like that, that's a con game. Because now, if you say you own this 8,000-foot clinical business with pharmaceuticals and all this, how the hell did you get the money? Some random black lady that nobody knows, you got a pharmaceutical company in Atlanta that you're supposed to be the head of. Nobody knows who you are. So naturally, okay, where the hell did you get the money for that? Oh, the Lord blessed me with it. I mean, she literally said that. The Lord blessed her with it. If you don't get the hell out of here, that ain't nothing but game, dude. When people start talking that shit, wait a minute. The Lord bless you with that. And then when you look on the website, I mean, they clicked in with Pfizer. Oh, they got all types of big pharmaceutical sponsors. Was that the Lord too? I mean, they got all of these big trillion-dollar pharmaceutical companies clicked in with this little Infinite Clinical Trials Corporation. The Lord. Man, please. Oh, is that the name for Bill Gates? The Lord? Lord Gates, is that who you're talking about? I mean, these folks are talking to us like we stupid as hell. Like we ain't gonna ask some questions. You better damn believe I'm gonna ask questions. You got some random Negroes out here trying to get us to take vaccines, and we don't know nothing about these Negroes. We don't see anything about them on social media. Nobody knows these niggas. There's no information about these people prior to 2020. And when you ask about where they get the money for a damn pharmaceutical company, well, it was the Lord who gave it to me. And we're supposed to sit up and let these folks inject us with some damn unknown vaccines? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. You dig? So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions and look into the background of these people. Somebody, the landlord, yeah. Anyway, y'all, man, stay on top of your game, man. They're coming at us hard out here. They're coming at us hard, family. We got to stay on our square. Anyway, let me get out of here, guys. That's been it for Tariq Radio, man. Great conversation with the family tonight. All my people, again, I need my web designing folks to hit me up. Hit a player up. Hit me up. My lawyers out there, hit me up. info@tariqelite.com. My Georgia lawyers. Hit me up so we can chop up some game on some strategies we can get popping out there. Ladies and gentlemen, also my app people. I got the app we have is ready. I'm getting the source code from the folks because what I want to do, I want to put it on a more stable server. So I need some folks, if you are thorough with working on apps, brothers, hit me up. Real shit. I ain't talking about some janky bullshit. If you're thorough, hit me up, man. info@tariqelite.com. We already got the app done. I'm dealing with these foreigners. I don't like doing business with them, and I don't want to release the app, and there's a lot of mistakes. I want to get some thorough, brothers, so we can just dot the I's and cross the T's on this thing to make sure it comes out strong, to make sure everything is stable. So I want some people who's real thorough. The key word is thorough with working with apps. Hit me up, info@tariqelite.com. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, man. Y'all have a good evening, man. I'm a holler.